What's up everybody, Jag Chima here. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to choose the right career path for yourself. Now, I get a lot of messages from people who are at a crossroad of their life where they're not sure what they should be pursuing. Should they be looking at becoming an entrepreneur, starting their own business? Should they go into employment? Should they do what their parents told them, become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer? What path do you actually take? Now, it's quite common for people to feel like they're behind when they see their friends who might be at university or college and they have a clear path of where they want to go, but yourself, you might be still confused. And often what happens is when you're confused and under pressure, that's when you could start to make the wrong choices. Do not ever allow yourself to make any choices about your future if you are under any kind of pressure, because you may regret that later on in life. The biggest thing that you will lose is the time that you invest pursuing a path which may not actually be what you want to do. The first question you have to ask is why. Anything that you want to do in life, you have to ask yourself the question why. Do I want to be a doctor? Why? And some of the suitable answers for that might be because I enjoy making people better. I enjoy helping people get better health. But if it's a case of having pressure from your parents because people in your family might be doctors or brain surgeons or other kind of medical professionals, you may also be put under pressure to do the same because other people have been successful. But it doesn't always mean that just because other people in your circle are good at something that you naturally will be good at it too. It's never the case. You will only be good at something if you truly have a passion for it. Now, how do we find things that we have a passion for? That's where people have a problem. Most people think that just because you can't instantly think of what you have a passion for, that you may be failing somewhere. That's not the case. So, here are a few things that I want to tell you about how I found my passion. Now, my background was never health and fitness, though that is what I pursue hands-on as one of my business verticals today. My background has always been construction. My family business is construction and property. So for as long as I know, that's all my family have ever done. And naturally, because I was involved with my family business from a very, very young age. In fact, I used to be at building sites when I was like 6 or 7 years old with my dad, watching him doing what he does. And I was it used to be quite fun. I used to enjoy it. But little did I know that I would have different aspects of business that would be my passion. So when I started my very first business, it was in a completely different field altogether. Why? Because it gave me an excitement. It was something that I wanted to pursue myself and be totally independent. Now, my very first business was mobile phones, mobile phone communications. I started a mobile phone business in 1998 and it fast became one of the best mobile phone outlets in the town. And we won awards. We were featured in many newspapers as becoming the best. That only happened because I found a passion and I enjoyed it. My mother, she wanted me to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be a lawyer. If I became a lawyer, I probably would have been a pretty lousy one. And there's some pretty lousy lawyers out there already. So it doesn't need another one. In the same way, I found out that there was qualities that I had, which I had to discover only through experience. And that business, I started and I finished in just under 2.5 years. I came out of that business when I realized the market was becoming saturated. So although I was emotionally involved, I disconnected my emotions. I took what I wanted from that experience, sold the business 2.5 years later when it was at its peak and just before the market dipped, and then moved forward. In the same way, if you're finding it difficult to find your passion, then maybe you should experience and do some due diligence. I always suggest doing as much research into things that you think that you might enjoy doing. And it's okay if it takes you a little bit of time to find exactly what you want to pursue. Do not allow anybody to put you under any pressure. So if you think that your passion might be in becoming an engineer, maybe speak to engineers who have been doing it for some time. Maybe look at the different aspects of engineering. Which area of engineering do you think that you would really enjoy? Maybe you want to become a teacher. What type of teacher? In which country? What kind of requirements and skills would you need to be the best? Now, whichever path you choose to pursue, your first goal always should be aiming for the top. And that is a process that requires patience. And over the years, you'll have to gain experience to climb that ladder to reach the top. I always knew that I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I did not know that my goal of being an entrepreneur would open up so many verticals for me, which I would actually enjoy. I never thought that something that was a hobby and a passion later would become a business for me. But I had to learn the skills to be able to be the best at what I'm doing today. And those skills came from the very first business that I started, which was mobile phones. And then I had to become qualified to be able to give people financial advice for finances, to buy their homes and commercial properties. I became an estate agent, which I still own the business. We developed properties. But all the skills that I picked up from all the other areas of business and being an entrepreneur helped me to be the best at what I do. Now, if there's an area of my business that I'm not good at, I hire other people who are good at what they do. And you could be one of those people that goes and helps people within their businesses at areas that they're not good at. Maybe you want to become an accountant if you're good at numbers. Maybe you want to become a fitness professional. Whatever that path is, make sure that you apply the time that it needs to be able to write down what exactly you know that you feel a passion for. Once you feel that passion, that's when you write down your path. Make sure that you give it the time that it needs. I would emphasize that. And once you get there, believe me, it's worth it. Now, for all of those who are watching this and didn't know how to find their passion, I hope some of these examples that I've given you helped you in finding your ultimate goal of what you want to become later on. That's all from me. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please do comment below and let me have some feedback. Do subscribe and do share with anybody you feel that could benefit from this. Until next time, all the best.